I yearn for peace among Arab nations. Penned by Jawdat Saeed. Is it wrong for me to express a desire for peace among Arabs? Or is such a desire considered taboo, treacherous, blasphemous, and akin to declaring war among Arab nations themselves? Ever since I began writing 4 decades ago, my focus has been on nonviolence and the teachings of Adam's first son, who told his brother, "If you aim to kill me, I won't retaliate, for I fear God, the Lord of all worlds." My fascination also lies with humanity's potential for goodness, as seen in God's appointment of humans as stewards on earth. Despite the angel's predictions of human-induced corruption and violence, God maintained a belief in the hidden virtues of humanity, virtues unknown to the angels, suggesting a potential for overcoming such darkness. Whenever I tirelessly raise this issue, I often face skepticism. Many question whether the peace I advocate for is the same as the peace sought between Arabs and Israel. This question usually comes from those who can only conceive of peace in the context of the Israeli conflict, oblivious to the possibility of intra-Arab peace. This single-minded focus has led to a pervasive sense of despair regarding peace among Arab nations themselves. I recall being invited to Deir ez-Zor in Syria to give a lecture titled "How to Achieve Peace Among Arabs," where the significance of this subject was highlighted in bold letters at the Cultural Center. It's not just the young who struggle with this concept. Even well-educated professionals like doctors and engineers find it hard to grasp the possibility of Arab unity. The discourse is riddled with cynicism, focusing heavily on the Arab-Israeli conflict and neglecting internal Arab reconciliation. Malik Ben Nabi's observation that Arabs tend to view Israel as their foremost issue reflects a flawed perception. According to him, Israel is not the root problem, but a symptom of a deeper malaise affecting Arab and Muslim societies, a concept he described as a predisposition to colonization. I take pride in advocating for peace among Arabs, where no party loses and everyone gains. But how can we rekindle this hope for unity and harmony? I believe this aspiration for peace can be reignited if we, the general populace, move away from the historical precedent where Arab unity was achieved through the rise of a powerful leader who forcefully united the Arab world. This pattern, reminiscent of our past, seems to still captivate our imaginations and evoke a sense of nostalgia, especially among those who wield power, as seen during the Second Gulf War. Such attempts at unity, however, have failed to address the core issue of vulnerability to colonization, as termed by Malik. I propose an alternative concept: rationality. Rationality implies actions based on free will rather than force. After all, Islam advocates for freedom in both faith and governance. Coerced politics are deemed irrational in Muslim history, distinguishing the just from the unjust through the lens of free choice. Our plea for peace and Arab cooperation is for it to stem from rationality, not coercion. This mirrors the European approach, where nations unify through consensus and mutual understanding, without force, ensuring no loss for anyone and benefiting all. Yet, as technological advancements bring about the capacity for unprecedented destruction, the wisdom behind non-coercive leadership becomes even more apparent. Countries that have prospered, like Japan, or faltered, like the Soviet Union, which collapsed internally despite its military might, illustrate that success and failure in the modern era are not determined by warfare. Europe, having experienced various forms of conflict, now embraces unity through dialogue and equal rights, showcasing a path forward without reliance on arms or aggression. These insights form the foundation of my hope for peace among Arab nations, a foundation that is religious, worldly, and historical. But it hinges on our ability to think critically, reach a state of rationality and awareness in our dealings, and to move away from celebrating those who seek to force unity upon the Arab world. If we adopt this mindset and alter our approach to conflict resolution, we can expect a divine shift in our circumstances. Sufi wisdom tells us that the utterances of beings are the inscriptions of truth. By changing our individual conflict resolution tactics, we can prompt a transformation in our communities, from disunity, fear, and suspicion, to a state where neighbors trust rather than fear each other, echoing the transformation within us. This change in our hearts and minds, from relying on force and coercion for unity to a genuine desire for peace, can pave the way for true Arab unity. But as long as we glorify forceful unifiers, we invite the rise of tyrants among us. A shift in our understanding promises a shift in reality, transforming curses into blessings, as God's blessings remain with a people until they themselves induce change. I firmly believe that viewing those who push for coerced unity with disdain will deter any attempts at such unity. If we collectively value and celebrate efforts towards peaceful unity without deceit, this newfound consciousness will manifest in reality, aligning with the immutable laws of God, which dictate that divine change reflects personal transformation. I've realized that peace among us Arabs will remain elusive as long as we harbor a preference for force as a unifying tool, for it is this preference that breeds mistrust, suspicion, and fear. Without mutual trust, there is neither faith nor security, echoing the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, who stated that one cannot truly believe if they do not trust their neighbor, and that faith is absent in those without trust. This sentiment was poetically captured by Muhammad Iqbal, who noted, "Without faith, there is no security, no world for those failing to rejuvenate our faith. I hereby affirm my desire for peace among Arabs and am prepared to face any consequences arising from this aspiration." I am convinced that many share this yearning, though the vision remains obscured to them. Our goal is to illuminate this path, never hiding the divine laws governing societies and nations. Those who doubt that righteousness can prevail without force are unaware of these divine laws.